We are privileged, as no other body perhaps shall be privileged in the future, to have three hands of the cause in our midst. It is an institution that future generations shall only read about. We are blessed with it. May I present champion of the covenant, standard bearer of the cause of Baha'u'llah, the hand of the cause of God, Collis Featherstone.
You've already been asked, are you happy? But you didn't seem very strong in that. Are you happy? I hope you will be when we finish. Now, there's one thing that every one of us has in common. We all have our own individual story, circumstances and reasons why we became Baha'is, why we stepped into this world unity, the like of which has never in past ages existed. Another thing that we have in common, and that is the very principle of oneness of mankind. And I want to illustrate that. Every one of us, before we were born, was never asked, what race of people would you like to be? No one had a choice. But in the world of existence, we have racial prejudice. Every one of us never had a choice. What color skin would you like? But we have color prejudices existent all over the globe. Every one of us had no choice of the country in which we were born. And yet we do have nationalistic prejudices existing. And there's not one of us was asked, what kind of parents would you like? Would you like Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, or Parsi? And if so, which sect, which division, which denomination? No one had a choice. And this is where we see very clearly the abandonment of prejudice, and we're seeing the Baha'is putting that into action across the whole planet. And I've been thrilled in some places to see where people have been virtually opposed in the past and now united together. In fact, I was in one area where in a teaching conference, one of the tribes from the highlands came to meet with them in the valley, and one man in my presence said, my grandfather ate your grandfather. Now they're Baha'is. We're privileged to have a mighty revelation to guide us. Every one of us has in our own hand our own destiny. We are responsible for our own progress and development in moving from this world to the next. And every one of us know that we move. There's no one that has a permanent residence here. There's not even in the days of corruption can people take so much money out of their pocket and slip it under the table. I would like to stay for an extra 100 years. Just not possible. We've all got to move on. And the realm of the Spirit, it becomes the very, very important part involved. We know that we're physically composed of the atoms of the earth. But we also know that this vehicle is endowed with a soul that makes the individuality of every one of us. And that individuality is abstract. In other words, it's not composed. It's not material. You can't put it on a plate and hand it and show it around. It's a soul. And everything that belongs to the soul is abstract. It belongs to a higher kingdom. Everyone has memory. Everyone has knowledge. But there's no doctor that can open up a man's brains and lift it up and have a look and get his knowledge. But it's existent and real. Together with that, there are all the attributes of God, all the perfections. These we are obliged to acquire in this world. Just before we come over to deal with a few of those items, I would like to read to you some words of Baha'u'llah, whose mighty revelation has influenced us to be united together and to be together as we all are for a historic occasion of a very beautiful temple. Last night I had the privilege of being there when they had the lights all lit up and all the floodlights on. And it was heavenly, especially as the sun went down and the pink shades in the sky in a background of a floodlit temple. Magnificent beauty. And like our chairman, I do compliment the architect, all his workers, and the National Assembly for such a mighty achievement. Now, who are we serving? Let me read from some of Baha'u'llah's words telling us who he is. Naught is seen in my temple but the temple of God, and in my beauty but his beauty, and in my being but his being, and in myself but his self, and in my movement but his movement, and in my acquiescence but his acquiescence, and in my pen but his pen, the mighty, the all-praised. There hath not been in my soul but the truth, and in myself naught could be seen but God. Baha'u'llah tells us the world's equilibrium hath been upset through the vibrating influence of this most great, this new world order. Mankind's ordered life hath been revolutionized through the agency of this unique, this wondrous system, the like of which mortal eyes have never witnessed. The hand of omnipotence hath established his revelation upon an unassailable and enduring foundation, Storms of human strife are powerless to undermine its basis, nor will man's fanciful theories succeed in damaging its structure. The like of which mortal eyes have never witnessed, and established on an enduring foundation. Praise be to God that Baha'u'llah left us the universal house of justice, which was so ably presented yesterday. That universal house of justice, I'd just like to say a few words again from Baha'u'llah. He says, "Praise be unto God who hath made the most great infallibility the shield for the temple of his cause in the realm of creation, and hath assigned unto no one a share of this lofty and sublime station." No one has a share in this mighty institution, a station which is a vesture which the fingers of transcendent power have woven for his august self. Abdu'l-Baha was asked about this institution, and he wrote, "That house of justice will be under the protection and the guardianship of God. If that house of justice shall decide unanimously or by majority upon any question not mentioned in the book, that decision and command will be guarded from mistake. Now the members of the house of justice have not individually essential sinlessness, but the body of the house of justice is under the protection of God. This is called conferred infallibility." Now we all realize there's a world drifting, hopelessly drifting at the present time, and chaotic conditions emerging in many places. And we cannot help but thank God that the universal house of justice gave us the promise of world peace that is influence all over the earth. But it's very significant to me that Baha'u'llah wrote after the revealing of the Kitab-i-Aqdas, and he said, "It is incumbent upon the ministers of the house of justice to promote the lesser peace, so that the people of the earth may be relieved from the burden of exorbitant expenditures. This matter is imperative and absolutely essential, inasmuch as hostilities and conflict lie at the root of affliction and calamity." We're seeing the governments and the heads of state all over the earth, preceding the lesser peace, all being given divine guidance, so that really in essence they all have been given the same standards, the divine standards that have been revealed for world peace. But now we as Baha'is have a challenge thrown on us also from Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah says, "The well-being of mankind, its peace and security are unattainable." We can't have that peace, unattainable, unless and until its unity is firmly established. This unity can never be achieved so long as the counsels which the pen of the Most High hath revealed are suffered to pass unheeded. We have to present this revelation to the mass of the people of the world, and it's urgent that we do so. Its well-being, peace and security are unattainable unless and until its unity is firmly established. We've got to work fast. And to do this we must acquire all that spiritual capacity that can be the cause, like a magnet, to attract the hearts and minds of people. As a world is drifting and drifting, and a world cause is growing, the God-given cause is growing and developing. We've just got to change them around and bring them from going down to coming up to the high spirits and the purpose of our Creator. Now I want to address you rather personally from what Baha'u'llah himself has written. Every one of us are equally challenged. In hidden words it's written, "Think not the secrets of hearts are hidden. Nay, know ye of a certainty that in clear characters they are engraved and are openly manifest in the holy presence. Verily I say, whatsoever ye have concealed within your hearts is to us open and manifest as the day, but that it is hidden is of our grace and favor, and not of your deserving." These are challenges. "By my beauty all your doings hath my pen graven upon with open characters upon tablets of chrysolite." Do we realize that all the deeds we do are all recorded? I'm hoping, too, that they don't record the things that we should have done and didn't do. We should have told the people down the street of the cause. We should have taken the opportunities here, there, and everywhere else. But we didn't carry pamphlets enough. Baha'u'llah says, "He well knoweth the actions of men. He who is the eternal truth knoweth well what the breasts of men conceal. Nothing whatsoever escapeth him. He knoweth the secrets both of the heavens and the earth. His knowledge embraceth all things. All stands revealed before him." I have 14 instances of this. I won't read them all to you, or you mightn't sleep tonight. I don't want to disturb your sleep. He says, "Then thou shalt after thy departure discover what we have revealed unto thee, and shall find all thy doings recorded in the book, wherein the works of all them that dwell on earth, be they greater or less than the weight of an atom, are noted down." But then also he says these beautiful words, "The pen of the Most High hath at all times and under all conditions remembered with joy and tenderness his loved ones, and hath counseled them to follow in his way. Well is it with him when the changes and chances of the world have failed to deter from recognizing the dayspring of the unity of God, who hath quaffed with unswerving resolve, and in the name of the self-subsisting, the sealed wine of his revelation. Such a man shall be remembered with the inmates of paradise in the book of God, the Lord of all worlds." Now there is a beautiful tablet, beautiful talk, recorded talk of Abdul-Baha, who makes it very, very clear to us that the need for spirituality. Makes it very clear. He says, in the beginning of human life, man was embryonic in the world of the matrix. There he received capacity and endowment for the reality of human existence. The forces and powers necessary for this world were bestowed upon him in that limited condition. In this world he needed eyes. He received them potentially in the other. He needed ears, and he obtained them there in readiness and preparation for his new existence, when he came into this world, the powers requisite in this world, womb of the mother. And when he entered this realm of real existence, he not only possessed all necessary functions and powers, but found provision for his material subsistence waiting for him. We had a mother to take care of us and bestow her love and blessings and guidance. And in this day, particularly now, with the obligations of this massive revelation of Baha'u'llah to train the children from the earliest possible days, in this great revelation and in all the qualities and the attributes and all that is expected that we should acquire in this world. Then Abdu'l-Baha explains, therefore in this world he must prepare himself for the life beyond. From the world of the womb of the mother, we were prepared for this world. Equally, all of us have to prepare for the next world, and somebody can't do it for someone else. We're all committed. That which he needs in the world of the kingdom must be obtained here. That's a very emphatic statement. Just as he prepared himself in the womb of the matrix by acquiring forces necessary for this existence, so likewise the indispensable forces of divine existence must be potentially attained in this world. This is where and why we have to live the Baha'i life. It's not only because we show and create unity and love, it's also for our own development arriving in the next world. It's a two-way program. Then Abdu'l-Baha explains to us what we need. What is he in need of in the kingdom which transcends the life and limitation of this mortal sphere? That world beyond is a world of sanctity and radiance. Therefore, it is necessary that in this world he should acquire those divine attributes. In that world there is need of spirituality. There's a need there for spirituality, for faith, for assurance, and the knowledge and the love of God. That love of God that you sacrifice your time, your resources, and your energy in working for the faith constantly, non-stop. These he must attain in this world, so that after his ascension from the earthly to the heavenly kingdom, he shall find all that is needful in that eternal life ready for him. Just as we arrived with everything here, likewise, we have to acquire for ourselves in our adoration and praise and worship and service to God. We have to acquire these things in this world. That divine world is manifestly a world of lights. Therefore, man has need of illumination here. And I feel sure if you felt like I was when I was in that temple, I was wondering whether I'd take off at some time. I felt so beautiful. The Spirit was there, and that beautiful choirs. That is a world of love. And love of God is essential. It is a world of perfections, of virtues. And perfections and virtues must be acquired. That world is vivified by the breaths of the Holy Spirit. In this world we must seek them. We must seek that Holy Spirit. That is the kingdom of everlasting life. It must be attained during this vanishing existence. This is a temporary world. We were given the things that we needed from our Creator in the world of the womb of the mother. We didn't know then in that world of this world. When we arrive here, we've got to acquire for ourselves and do our own work of acquiring the assets, like the arms, legs and ears, eyes coming into this world. We have to acquire them for the next world. By what means can man acquire these things? Abdu'l-Baha poses the question and gives the answer. How could he obtain these merciful gifts and powers? First, through the knowledge of God. And this is one of the wonderful reasons why I'm pleased that Baha'u'llah said, read the writings morn and eve. And if you read them without reading too much, you're surprisingly how you will remember them. How shall he obtain these merciful gifts and powers? First, through the knowledge of God. Second, through the love of God. Third, through faith. Faith. And we surely have that. We all know. We're blessed. The Baha'is are blessed to know where the world is going. We know of the destiny of a glorious future that is for this world and for our children and children's and children's children. We're quite positive. Faith and belief. Fourth, through philanthropic deeds. Fifth, through self-sacrifice. Sixth, through severance from this world. We can't afford to be over-attached to this world. It's surprising how every now and again we become detached. Some of the believers recently told me with the devaluation of the currency, they were detached from a lot of worldly wealth. Quite suddenly and quite unexpectedly. A seventh item he gives is we acquire these things through sanctity and holiness. Holiness is that respect and the love that we have for these teachings and for all the circumstances in prayers, in temples and adoration to God. The sanctity. Unless he acquires these forces and attains these requirements, he will surely be deprived of the life that is eternal. But if he possesses the knowledge of God, this is why the exhortation that was given here, study the teachings, particularly as it was said, studying the guardian who guides you into all the phases of this mighty revelation. And all the things that we should do in the manner of the working of this mighty world order of Baha'u'llah. If he possesses the knowledge of God, becomes ignited through the fire of the love of God, witness the great and mighty signs of the kingdom, becomes the cause of love among mankind, and lives in the utmost state of sanctity and holiness, he shall surely attain to the second birth, be baptized by the Holy Spirit, and enjoy everlasting existence. Mr. Sears reminded us yesterday a dispensation of what 500,000 years. Then Baha'u'llah himself tells us, O friends, be not careless of the virtues with which you've been endowed. neither be neglectful of your high destiny. Ye are the stars of heaven of understanding, and the breezes that stirreth at the break of day, the soft-flowing waters upon which must depend the very life of all men. O people of Baha'i, ye are the breezes of the spring that are wafted over the world. Through you, we, Baha'u'llah says, we have adorned the world of being with the ornament of knowledge of the Most Merciful. Through you, all of us, responsibilities on our shoulders, not someone else's. We can't pass the buck to the committee or the National Assembly or the local assembly. Through you, the countenance of the world hath been wreathed in smiles, and the brightness of his light shone forth. Cling ye to the cord of steadfastness, in such wise that all vain imaginings may utterly vanish. Speed ye forth from the horizon of power in the name of your Lord, the unconstrained, and announce unto his servants with wisdom and eloquence the tidings of this cause, whose splendor hath been shed upon the world of being. I have many pieces here, but time is limited, unfortunately. You know, I read to you little pieces here that God knows everything we do. I want to read you a little story here illustrating this when believers were in the presence of Baha'u'llah. An influential person became a Baha'i in Isfahan, but he did not live a good life. He went to Akka and attained the presence of Baha'u'llah, and this is his story. On the first day of my attaining the presence of the Blessed Beauty, I was among a number of pilgrims who were standing in his presence. He was pacing up and down and speaking words of exhortation and encouragement. I was in a state of enchantment as I watched the majesty of his bearing. I said to myself, I know that the blessed perfection is the supreme manifestation of God and the promise of all ages. But in some of his writings he describes himself as the one who has been sent, as the one who has sent all the messengers of God and the revealer of all the heavenly books. I did not understand this. As soon as this thought flashed through my mind, the blessed perfection came towards me, placed his hand on my shoulder, and in a majestic tone, yes, we are the one who has sent the messengers and revealed all the heavenly books. Then he writes, I was awestruck. Baha'u'llah even knew what he was thinking. Another case. After my arrival in Tehran, writes one of the believers, I was once reading the epistle to the son of the wolf, and I came across a very beautiful and penetrating prayer revealed by Baha'u'llah and quoted in that book. I immediately wished in my heart that these resplendent words had been revealed from the pen of the Most High for me, this insignificant servant. Some time passed when one day I received a message from Haji Mirza Abdullah Sahar Farush, who was a well-known figure among the Baha'is and a channel of communication with the Holy Land. In this message, he told me that a tablet in my name had arrived from the realm of glory, and that I should call in person at his office and collect it. I hastened to his office, where I received an exalted tablet, as a result of which I was moved to the depths of my emotions. I worked out carefully that at the same moment that I had made the wish in my heart to have the above prayer revealed for me, the bounties of Baha'u'llah had been directed toward me in Tehran. He had revealed the same prayer at that very moment in my name, and he sent it to me. The time that it normally took for communications to arrive in Tehran from the Holy Land was the same as that between my making a wish in my heart and the arrival of the tablet. Glorified be God, the Lord of grandeur and majesty. Although the sufferings and tribulations had encompassed the realm of glory from every direction, yet the bounties of Baha'u'llah were being vouchsafed to his most insignificant servants. And this demonstrates the truth of the words, "Nothing whatsoever escapeth him from being occupied with any other thing." Baha'u'llah knows all that we can do. Now every one of us realize that we're challenged with a mighty 6-year plan to start and to take the faith to the four corners of the earth. You remember Baha'u'llah, with all the experience, Baha'u'llah said that his revelation was for all the worlds of God. Now, with all your experience and your devotion in this cause, it's quite possible, I don't know for sure, but when you leave this world and you arrive in the next, they may just be starting another 6-year plan. So make every effort, do your utmost, and don't let up, because the opportunities are here now for service. I want to read and close with some words of Abdu'l-Baha, that there is this exhortation. We need the spirit of this cause, the spirit to attract the souls. We've got to have energy. We've got to become, shall we say, self-active. We've got to get our own selves going to teach. I have a piece of paper here. Here we are. You know, in the writings it tells us we should teach. Every year we should tact another soul, at least another soul every year. Yesterday we were given some figures of 4.7 million Baha'is in the world. In this 6-year plan, look what can happen. If every believer in the world was to attract one believer in 1 year to this cause, the first year it would jump to 9.4 million, the second year to 18.8, the third year to 37.6 million, fourth year to 75.2 million, the fifth year to 150 million.4 million, and in the 6th year for all of us to go to New York, 300 million people. It's possible. It's possible. And the Baha'is, if we all get busy, it can be done. And what does Abdu'l-Baha say? All the meetings must be for teaching the cause and spreading the message, and suffering the souls to enter into the kingdom of Baha'u'llah. Look at me, he says, look at me. All my thoughts are centered round the proclamation of the kingdom. I have a lamp in my hand, searching through the lands and seas to find the souls who can become heralds of the cause. Day and night I am engaged in this work. Any other deliberations in meetings are crack the hearts, sow the seeds, teach the cause to those who do not know. I enter all meetings, all churches, so that the cause may be spread. When the most important work is before our sight, we must let go the important one. The most important has priority. If the meetings of the spiritual assembly has any other occupation, the time is spent in futility. All the deliberations, all the consultations, all the talks and addresses must revolve around one focal center, and that is teach the cause, teach, convey the message, awaken the souls. Now is the time for laying the foundation. Now we must gather brick, stone, wood, iron, and other building materials. This is not the time for decoration. We must strive day and night and think and work. What can I say that may become effective? What can I do that may bring results? What can I write that may bring forth fruits? Nothing else will be useful today. The interests of such a glorious cause will not advance without undivided attention. While we are carrying this load, we cannot carry any other load. So, friends, make this house of justice rejoice in your achievements. 300 million would be nice to take to New York. Thank you.